What is good, everybody? What is good? I hope everybody is doing well. I do not have much sunlight left, so I am going to jump right into this. It's getting cold. It's getting darker faster, huh? What's up with that? So, all right. So, I got a question the other day. Something was kind of on my mind, but I definitely want to put this out concerning am I black enough? And I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to title this. Obviously, by the time you see it, there's already have a title to it. But am I black enough for you, right? And I think I know I definitely talked about this in another video that I did about I can't remember. It's set to be released as I record this. So just talking about the whole, our problem is that we don't think collectively, something along those lines. So I really want to continue on with that frame of thinking with this particular video because it was asked to me, right? And I'm part of a Facebook group. I'm part of a Facebook group, and I'm part of a number of Facebook groups. One of them in particular, I want to say, after Kevin Samuels died, there's all these different ones sprung up about him, keep the discussion going and all that kind of stuff. I think it was one of those. And there was a posting about a young black woman who was, in my estimation, was beautiful. She was beautiful, right? Natural hair. And then somebody wrote in there, it don't even look like she dates black dudes. And I'm looking at the picture. It wasn't a video, it was a picture. Pretty sure it was a picture. And I'm looking at it like, I don't understand why this dude would say that. I don't understand why this dude would say that. So, and I'm not gonna go on the hair thing again, but on my other platform, I did a show with the woman. Oh gosh, her name is escaping me. I'll try to put it on the links, but it was a. This is before I was doing video. I think it was an audio conversation that she and I, Lori Tharp, that's her name. She was at that time a professor of, I don't know, media or something like that at Temple University. And so I don't know what she's doing now, but she talked about black women's hair. And so she and I had a conversation about that, right? Believe me, I'm not getting on that. But at the end of that conversation, and I don't think it's recorded, but I know I asked her. I think I asked her when I shut the microphone off, like, and this, I've noticed that a lot of black women who actually wear natural hair don't date black dudes. And she, Lori Tharp, at that time, I don't know what her status is now, was married to a Spanish dude, and I mean Spanish as in from Spain. So, but getting back to this post that was there, like why? What made this woman in this video, or I'm pretty sure it was a picture. What made this woman in the picture look like she didn't date black people? And this is a crazy phenomenon. We talk about our mating and dating preferences and what's authentically black. All this type of talk, man. All this type of stuff. It's wild. It's wild to me. When I was 18 years old, I was working. I was going to community college, and I had a work-study program. So I was working at the school bookstore. Selling books and all this kind of stuff. I was a young dude. I was sheltered and stuff, but I had a bunch of ladies just coming on to me left and right. I mean, left and right. It was crazy. It was crazy. And this one girl's like, she approached me. She's, we're talking, whatever. And it was funny because I had sold her a book like the day before, 2 days before. She came back. I'm like, oh, did you forget? Whatever. She's like, no, I just kind of want to see what you're up to. See what I'm up to. So we're talking, we're kicking it, right? I got her number and all that kind of stuff, right? So we're talking, and she says to me, before I was even going to approach you, I thought you were, a white girl lover. I thought you were WGL. I think that's what she said, a WGL. Like, what's a WGL? White girl lover. I thought you were into white girls. It was a big hawk or something. I'm like, man, what would make you seem? She's like, oh no, just the way you come off. So listen, I get what people are saying. I get what the ladies are saying. You present a certain way, and like to have good posture, diction, and this goes into the awkward conversations, awkward male conversations. I try to talk about, man. Just, what comes off that way, that it seems like you're unpalatable, unlikable to the people that you grew up around. I grew up in a hood. I grew up in a hood. When the crack epidemic hit, we used to play in abandoned buildings and stuff as little kids. Sometimes I look back, like, Generation X, man, we was out of control, man. We was just doing crazy stuff, man. We used to play in abandoned buildings and all this kind of stuff, right, in my neighborhood, right? And then, the crack epidemic hit. The same abandoned buildings we would go into, like, there's people in there smoking crack. It's like, oh my God, man. It took away our playhouses and stuff, man. So I'm saying that to say, like I grew up around these people, so I don't know. I used to play street football, and we used to get in, fights and all this stuff, right? So I'm just as hood as anybody else. So, but at 18, like, I was like floored. Like, what would make you say that? So to the young lady who posted that, like, listen, I don't have the answer for you as to how you present. You present how you present, and here's what I will say is, don't back off the way you present. Be your authentic self. Be yourself. Be who, quote unquote, God made you to be, the nature of your universe, whatever you call it. Be that. Stand on that. Don't try to become hip and put fake stuff in and BBLs and all this kind of stuff to be something that you're not, and try to talk a certain way. I'm gonna tell you, man, to be yourself, to be your authentic self, it's the most important thing you can be. And just like I'm assuming that the young lady said or is hinting at, I want to be around. I like vast parts of the black culture, right? The music, our interactions and stuff. Now, I can't personally be around the crazy ghetto ratchetness, right? So so the question is, are you authentically black? Are you black enough? There was an episode where Candace Owens, if I'm not mistaken, she grew up in Stamford, Connecticut. That's not very far from me. So Stamford has some hood parts to it. So I don't know her background and all that. I mean, all of it. But Candace Owens, went in a breakfast club, and they were asking her black questions that were simple, right? I don't know what if you go on Breakfast Club, search Candace Owens, she failed the test, right? Simple question, good time, I don't know, the good time songs, stuff like that, stuff that, if you really was hood, you would know, right? I think the Usher song, right? What happened at 7 o'clock, the drop top, whatever, all that stuff, right? She didn't know. Talk about taking your black card away. So listen, to the young ladies and young men out there who aren't into the traditional, quote unquote, black culture, and this is the problem. This is why I addressed it in another video about being collective. We don't think collectively, right? There's black people who enjoy cowboys, country music, anime, all this other stuff besides hip hop and all that kind of stuff, right? I was actually going to make another video about this, but I'll include it in this. Just talking about being authentically black. Talking about being authentically black. Dr. Umar Johnson, went on to a podcast, and I just watched it last night as I record this. And these dudes are from Australia, and I'm not Australia. These black dudes are from Canada, excuse me. And they were talking about hip hop and what hip hop has done and this, that, and the other. I'll put the screenshot up. I'm not going to play any snippets or clips from it, but I think they did a two-parter. And the second part is the one that really kind of went. Umar was kind of fed up, and I was actually with Umar on that. I like Umar. I think he's right a lot, not all the time, obviously, but this particular show. All right, for all you anti-drivers out there, I'm parked now. So on that show, right, they were talking about the positives that hip hop has done, and these guys were stretching, and Umar was giving a credit. I thought he was giving a credit. You should be a lawyer and this, that, and the other. I'm like, listen to Umar, this is not it. This is garbage. What they're saying is garbage, and it was absolute trash. Hip hop has not done anything overall extensively for the advancement of the positive uplift of black people as a collective. Has it made some people rich? Yes. Has it made white corporate America rich? Yes. Has it globally influenced? And I heard an Asian dude say this too, that it has the global. Actually, it was this dude Shahad or something like that. I've been watching his videos, and I can't remember his name. I'll try to put a screenshot up of him and who I'm talking about. And I guess he's Muslim, and he has nothing but contempt for the West and America and all this kind of stuff. And he was saying that I think it was him that I was listening to. It was either him or an Asian dude that was talking about how hip hop culture has spread its wings and has tentacles all over the planet, and it is the cultural phenomenon. I mean, it was just in the breaking. Breakdancing was just in the Olympics. So just crazy how it is. But collectively, have we benefited from this? Have we gotten anything from this? Do we have the money from this? Do we own the record companies, the labels? It hasn't benefited us at all. And this is what Umar Johnson's statement was, right? And even the people who are in it, and we got to be, at this point, we got to be so fed up with all the people who have been propagated up. Malcolm X talked about this. So the fact that we're still talking about this 50 years later, right? These leaders, right? These people who are considered leaders, right? These people that people are looking up to, right? These stars, these musicians, and all these other people, man, who are just, nobody else does that. I mean, I guess everybody now is looking up to Taylor Swift as I record this, because she's now stumping for Kamala Harris. Oh my God. But I'm talking about being authentically black, and what is the culture done to help us all to move forward? And this is what I talk about in my other videos when I'm talking about having children, not just for the sake of having children selfishly, but having children to propagate and push forward the culture. And we don't have a sound delegated culture that we can all say that we all get along with, we all like, because some, like I said, are into opera, and this is all fine. We don't have to have it. We don't have to have it per se, but I do think we should have something besides the color of our skin that we all connect with, right? Because whether you're into opera or anime or bull riding or whatever you're into, at the end of the day, right? I'm not a farmer, but I certainly was on the side of those black farmers who were collectively neglected by their own government, and now I understand, are receiving like $2 billion in reparations for being excluded from all these different programs that other farmers of other ethnicities were getting. And that's absolutely right. So what we should have is, this collective that I'm going to stand by. If you're being neglected from bull riding, I need to stand by you. If you're being neglected from joining a lawyers association or Congress or opera singers or conductors, right? Orchestra conductors, whatever. We ought to stand up for that, man. So in hip hop, to Umar Johnson's point, hip hop has not done anything collectively in a positive manner. In fact, Umar Johnson's point was it is overall overarchingly hurt our collective image in the way we talked about our women, in the way we talk about our each other, the glorification of violence. Um, so these guys were saying, this is all good, it's all positive, and it's done good things. We're opening up doors, and hip hop now needs a Me Too movement. I don't even know. These guys are just talking. I mean, they were young guys. They were just flapping their lips to me. I mean, Me Too movement. What, to get misogyny out of hip hop? But it's the ladies that are doing that now. I mean, you're not paying attention. And I think these guys were young rappers themselves, or at least one of them was. So I don't even know. Just talking, just spitballing. But they're young, and they don't know what's going on. The full extent of everything. You read a book and you think you got life experience. You don't. You don't. So, to be, what does it mean to be authentically black? What does it mean to be authentically American black? I know that we tend to think that we are God's gift, and other people don't see us that way. People from Africa come here and they don't see us that way, and I don't even know what the story is with black Brits and black people from the U.S., people from the Caribbean, and all that. It's an interesting phenomenon. We've all suffered subjugation, suppression, oppression. We've all done it, whether it's slavery. I mean, the black Brits in the UK were dealing with what they were dealing with, right? All the people from the Caribbean and Africa and stuff went to the UK and became, domestic servants and all this kind of stuff, right? Still excluded from a bunch of stuff. The Africans were still subjugated, right? Still to this day, to a large degree. So this competition we got, this oppression Olympics we got amongst ourselves has to stop. Has to stop. So, but what does it mean to be authentically black, right? And to speak with a vernacular, to speak with a higher substance, higher level of thinking, somehow is at times laughed at, scorned. Getting an education is seen as selling out. When did that become the thing? That had to have been something that emerged, that thought process, after integration, because what's his name there? I can't remember the famous professor there. He had his house broken into, I think, or something like that, or police were called, and he had the whole President Obama chimed in on that. Gates. Henry Louis Gates or something like that. Gates. He said at one time that, the blackest thing you could be is an educated dude, right? In fact, that's what made you stood out. I'm going to use words I don't usually use, so cover your ears, right? The bad nigger was the good nigga. The bad nigger was the good nigga. That's kind of where we get the word from, right? Because the smarter you were, the more educated, if you could read, you could count, and you stood up for yourself, you were a bad nigger. Yeah, we got to lynch this dude. We got to teach this dude a lesson. That was education. That was education. And that made you a pariah in their eyes, but it made you it made in the eyes of the people, the people you went back to the shacks with and hanging around with. Yeah, man, you's a good nigga, man. Yeah. So, what does it mean to be that way, right? Because you read, or because you pronounce every word, or because I sent somebody a text message one time. I sent somebody a text message one time. She wrote back, a bunch of smiley faces. I'm like, what's funny? She's like, I never seen anybody use punctuation in a text message before. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm a college professor, a couple different universities. I see that all the time. People just writing papers with no punctuation in it. What happened? I mean, are they not? I don't know. Are they not teaching punctuation in school? I don't know. So, let me turn off these lights here. Um, so listen, I don't know what happened, man, and but to the young lady's point, right? I'm assuming she likes black men, but maybe she comes off of this, she presents this way that isn't palatable. And to the point that I was making about the Facebook group, like I'm looking at this Facebook group, like, am I missing something here? Because it was a beautiful sister that they were clowning on, and looked like she don't date black women. I'm like, listen, y'all, if y'all, she's not impressive to y'all, she's definitely impressive to me. So I don't understand that. And this is the group. Again, I noted this because this is the group about Kevin Samuels. We want this, we want fit, feminine, friendly, we want real hair, we want this, we want that. And the picture was that. And then you're gonna say that she don't present like she dates black women, black dudes? And I wish I could say that I was exempt from this type of thinking, because I went on a date. Story time. I went on a date one time with a girl. She was nice. She had 10-year-old twins, and after a while I was like, I can't do this, right? Because we could only literally see each other twice a month when she didn't have her kids every other weekend. So I'm like, what am I doing? So, but she was a nice girl, and she wore this hat and stuff. I'm like, man, the way and I'm thinking to myself, like, man, the way that you're looking, I didn't think you'd like black dudes. Actually, I said it to her. She's like, why would you think that? I love my people. I love my culture. I was like, you know what? You're right. I don't know why I thought that. But, so we get into this programming within ourselves. So it happened to me. I did it to somebody else. So we got to, I'm making this video because we got to learn how to defeat this. It's a good thing I'm making this all in one. We got to learn how to defeat this, right? What it means to be authentically black and be authentically loving of our culture, those who want to perpetuate the culture, perpetuators, I guess, of the culture, and so that's an important dynamic that we really had to get into, and really had to do, to the young sister and brothers out there, right? If you're a smart dude, I did the 2 videos about the I did a couple of videos about educated lame, social awkward dudes, right? Man, first of all, you gotta love yourself, man, and understand that everybody's not that way. And I could go into all about the psychology of it and why we don't look into, the kid who acts up in school is acting up because he doesn't really fit in academically, so he's trying to be the class clown, all this different type of stuff. I don't want this to be an hour-long session, but there's a lot of stuff that's going on here where we internalize and look at people and say, man, they're not really of us. Because we went through struggle, we went through pain, we went through, and so we look at people who aren't doing that, who aren't going through the pain and the problems and through the stress and think that they have it easy, or those who live in middle class life and then clown those who are actually living a middle class life or upper middle class and who got to drink champagne with every dinner and all this kind of stuff, right? So, it's a funny dynamic. So first, love yourself. And listen, man, we should never apologize for using correct grammar, whether you're speaking Swahili, French, English. So you're seen as a sellout because you're speaking good, proper English? What if I was French? Would that matter? What if I was speaking Swahili or some other African language? This you gotta come out of this craziness, right? So I'm calling attention to the people out there, to the sisters out there who are authentically themselves, who love their hair, who love their features, who love their presentation and their presence, and yes, they love their diction, their dialect, their speech pattern. Even I, like, okay, I'm like, even I probably thought that she was probably into Caucasian dudes, but I still went out with her, and we had a good time. We didn't date that long. I probably would have kicked it with her longer had she not had the young kids. And that's when I started to figure out I can't do the young kid thing. I'm not gonna see you every other weekend. What if I'm busy that other weekend, right? I'm not gonna just that was just too restrictive for me. She was a nice girl though. Nice girl. So be yourself, love yourself. Don't worry about your speech pattern. You're gonna appeal to who you appeal to. You're gonna impress who you're gonna impress. and these other people, man, who don't think you're it because you don't watch certain shows, or because you're not into hip hop, or because you're not you put raisins in your potato salad, or you don't eat soul food or whatever, man. You tell, like, sometimes, because of the way I eat and stuff, like I talk to people like, oh man, you don't do the fried chicken thing, right? You don't do the, like, the potato salad thing. I'm like, listen, there's just something about having your chest cut open, right? There's something about that changes the way that you kind of view the world. And I'd rather live and be strong and be happy and be healthy than to be some other way, to be, in the dumps, in the hospital, taking medication. So love yourself, work on yourself, and you're not going to impress all these different people all the time. And that's, I can see your frustration, because if you meet somebody who you're really, really interested in, and maybe you meet them at a gym and let them know that you are interested. So however you do that, Auntie Anita says, drop the hanky, or, what she means by that is, the old way of doing things, drop a hanky so you can start a conversation, right? Let them know that you're interested. Maybe if you're at a gym or something, like, oh, what's your workout routine? Or, do you lift weights? Or how long you been coming here? Just something to get the door open, and hopefully he's listened to some of my videos and not become so socially awkward that he doesn't understand when the doors are being opened, right? And then it has the brains to walk through it. Just walk through the doors. So, when you're so just be that, and be that person, and you're gonna appeal to who you appeal to, and people are gonna like you for you. And listen, there are brothers out there, man, who are dying for that. I like a sweet, shy, more shy, quiet, demure, fit, feminine, friendly. I like that. I don't like and I'm gonna do by this time I will have done a video about boss chicks and stuff. I think it'll be alive. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be alive. I will have done this already, but I don't like that type of energy. I don't like that. I am not that. I really am I'm kind of an extrovert introvert. Like, I enjoy being chilled by myself. It's getting dark here. Chilled by myself, chilling out, all this kind of stuff. Um, I enjoy that. But and I don't mind just chilling out home. We just watch a movie. We don't got to go out. That's the type of dude that I am. I always got. I'm always frustrated. I meet somebody like, listen, I need to be out moving. We got to do this. We got to travel. We got to run the streets. That's why I call it, just running the streets. I'm not running the streets. I'm running the streets. I'm not running the streets. So, I think I made this long enough here. So, just love yourself. I mean, I really can't say too much about, but to the men out there who present a certain way, you don't have. I do suggest. I will make a differentiation between the men and the women. I do think that the men need to have a little bit of swag. I think it's important to have that swag, not only to impress the ladies, but swag, it tells other men around you, don't mess with me, or I have confidence. It does. The way that you walk, the way that you talk, whether you present yourself, right? Whether you walk into a boardroom, whether you walk into your construction site, or where you walk into your cab when you're about to drive for your trucking business, or whatever you're doing, right? The way that you do that, right? I think that men need to have a different level of swag and all that. So if you're just walking around and you're just a super nerd and just, I'm not clowning anybody for that, but if you want to get somewhere in life and move up the chain, you got to be able to do X, Y, and Z. It's funny too, because you can't have too much as a black male. Some jobs we know that are if you're too masculine, you get overlooked, right? You get overlooked. You won't get the promotion. You won't get the big story and all that kind of stuff, right? So there's something to that, right? Not presenting too masculine. You know, that's a conversation for another day. But to the ladies out there, my point is, to the men, you got to have this. And again, let me bring this back to the other video that I made about about the interracial relationships, right? These are the type of men who've been overlooked. These are the type of men who've been overlooked because of their way that they talk, their speech patterns. Maybe they weren't the biggest, the tallest, the strongest, the football playing jocks or whatever, or because they didn't have the proper street vernacular. They weren't up in the latest terms, right? And it's crazy because I was talking to my kids the other day, and they're like 26, 27, almost, my son's about to be 28. They're like forgetting, like they can't even keep up anymore with the street lingo. So I'm like, and I remember when I was a police officer, right? I used to have to translate. I always felt like that airplane skit or the movie Airplane, like Chalk and Jive and stuff. I used to have to translate, and then after a while, when I became a sergeant, I was 30 years old. Like I couldn't translate anymore. I'm like, I don't know what they're saying either. so I just have to translate for the cops. I'm saying, this is what she means, this is what he's talking about. So, but it just changes, So if you don't have that, then you're overlooked growing up, and that's why they turn to Caucasian women, white women, Hispanic women, someone who fits the way that they talk, the way that they get down, that fits them. I guarantee you that they would rather have that, but because they've been overlooked their whole life, they have to go to something else. So, if you want your men, that's another thing too, ladies. If you want your men to stay with you, you gotta do better with your mate selection, right? You gotta choose those men. And I know it's hard because this other dude over here, he's got that edge, right? This other guy who's just sitting here just doing his homework all day, right? He doesn't have any edge. I understand that. I understand that. That's why I'm trying to get the men to say, listen, you got to develop edge too, right? In the middle of you doing your homework, get up, stretch, and then, put some swagger on, walk to the bathroom, doing something with a limp, I don't do something to get that street edge to you, because I think it's important, not only for attracting mates, but I think it's important because people need to know that you are not the one to be messed with. And by mess with, not only physically as in fighting, but you know your stuff, right? Confidence is knowing your stuff. We can have a conversation about the blueprint of this architectural building that I'm designing. Here's what we're going to do, and I have enough confidence in my abilities to get it done, and we can do this, right? Edge in the law house where you're arguing about a case law or whatever it is that you do. Do it with style, right? That was one of the best lines to me in the I think it was the first Men in Black movie. First Men in Black movie. Will Smith's character asked, you know what the difference between me and you is? I make this look good.
The difference is between you and me, I make this look good.
That's all I'm saying, right? That's all I'm saying. Just make this thing look good as you're doing it. All right, so I'll leave it off there. So that's the men. The women, listen, if you like black men, just go up there and talk to them, right? Listen, now whether you're going to be compatible long term is a different thing, because if he's really, really hood in the street and you really don't want to be that way, unless you're one of them women who I just need me a street dude, right? I'll be in the corporate office, but I need to go back home to the hood, and I need him to straighten me out every now and then. You know what I'm saying? So if that's what you like, that's what you like. But but if you present a certain way and you're intimidating to men, that can't be an issue. It can't be an issue. But I think that a lady can really get through that. Listen, and just tell them, listen, the same thing that happened to me in a conversation. Listen, I like black dudes. Why would you say that? I'm from the culture, this, that, and the other. There was a few songs she didn't know what she was doing. So, but I think you can make it work, particularly with a good dude who's on his way up, who's doing something. I think you can make that. You can get around that. You can get around that. And if you can't, you still got to love yourself. You still got to live with yourself. You got to look yourself in the mirror every day. So don't go changing your hair and you getting piercings and tattoos and all this foolishness to impress some dude. So that's my spiel. That's my talk, right? Are you authentically black, right? What does it mean to be authentically black, and all that? So. Great movie with CB4. I'm black, y'all. I'm bliggity black, y'all. I'm black, y'all. Much love and peace.
I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm
I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all. And I'm black, y'all. And I'm black, y'all. And I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all. I'm blickety black, blacker than black, black. I'm blacker than black, yo. Because I'm black, and I'm back. Yo, I'm black, and I'm black, y'all. And I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all. And I'm black, y'all. And I'm black, y'all. And I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all. And I'm blickety black, 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 black.